Good evening to all the participants compliance training. I'm Prachi Bhosle working with CDSL Audit Inspection and Compliance Department. I will be covering the topics common penalty structure and new developments in compliance. So let's get started. The objective of imposing penalty on the depository participants is to impress upon every DP the importance of observing compliance of various regulatory requirements and to discourage them from non-compliance or violations of these requirements. The depository may impose penalty on the DP as mentioned in the schedule of penalties provided as Annexure 11.1 of the DP operating instructions. Let me tell you that the penalty structure is common between both the depositories and is approved by SEBI. Let us have a look at some of the important penalty heads and the quantum of penalty levied. The penalty levied under these heads is enhanced penalty, which means that the penalty amount will double if same non-compliance is observed in the second consecutive period, and further in case of same observation found in third consecutive period, the DP will be referred to the disciplinary action committee, which is now known as the member committee. The first penalty head is non-submission of internal audit report or concurrent audit report within stipulated time period. The penalty amount is rupees 1000 per occasion plus additional rupees 500 for any delay per fortnight. This will double in second consecutive period, and on third occasion the DP will be referred to MC. For non-submission of net worth certificate, the penalty amount is rupees 2500 per occasion plus additional rupees 1000 for any delay per fortnight. This penalty will double on second consecutive occasion and further will be referred to MC. For non-submission of annual financial statements, the penalty for first occasion is rupees 1000 per occasion plus additional rupees 500 for any delay per fortnight. And for non-submission of monthly reports of BO's complaints, the penalty for first time is rupees 500 per month, second consecutive time it is rupees 1000, and third time the DP will be referred to member committee. The monetary penalty under the heads given here is enhanced penalty and is each instance or account wise. The nature of non-compliances are accounts operated with an unsigned agreement or without acknowledgement of rights and obligations document, or accounts open without obtaining adequate proof of identity or proof of address as prescribed under SEBI, PMLA, CDSL guidelines, or record of in-person verification is not maintained in prescribed manner. It's observed that the BO account is debited without receiving proper authorization. The penalty amount is rupees 2500 per account for the first time. If same non-compliance is observed during second consecutive time, the penalty amount will be rupees 5000 per account, and on observation for the third consecutive time, the DP will be referred to MC. In case of internal audit report or concurrent audit report is submitted without inclusion of management comments for deviations noted by auditors or not providing compliance duly certified by auditors on the observations made, there is a penalty of rupees 1000 per occasion and rupees 500 for delay per fortnight. In case of any transactions such as change in bank details, change in signature, transmission, account closure, freeze unfreeze, pledge, remat, etc. is not processed as per operating instructions, the penalty is rupees 500 per account. For transaction statement not being sent to the BOs as per requirements, penalty amount is rupees 2000 per occasion. Penalty for PMLA related non-compliances are given. SEBI, via its Master Circular dated 7 July 2018, has given guidelines on anti-money laundering standards and combating the financing of terrorism. The SEBI circular is issued by CDSL via Communic number 352 in the year 2018. The AML policy of the DP should be framed as per these guidelines. If it is observed that AML policy is not framed as per PMLA and is not informed to FIU-IND, penalty of rupees 2500 will be imposed. In case of non-appointment of principal officer or non-intimation of change of principal officer details to FIU-IND, penalty is rupees 2500. Suspicious transaction register not being maintained as prescribed by CDSL, penalty amount is rupees 2500. The format of the register is given in CDSL Communic number 5156. Summary of penalty. DPs, please note that the member committee of CDSL takes a serious note of non-compliances which are referred to them. Hence, the quantum of penalty imposed as per member committee is higher. For non-submission or delay in submission of reports, the major share of penalty is levied for net worth certificate and half-yearly internal audit reports, which is about 80% of penalty imposed for non-submission of reports. Under non-submission of compliance, delay in submission of compliance for internal audit and for inspection observations, the total penalty is 70% of the total penalty. More than 300 DPs are penalized up to December 2021 during the financial year 2021. DPs are thereby advised to ensure timely submission of reports and compliances to the depository in order to avoid being penalized. Moving to the next topic, new developments in the area of compliance. Compliance is an ongoing process of monitoring to ensure fulfillment with regulatory requirements and protection of interest of all the parties. In this slide, we can see the new developments in depository compliance. First is the 6 KYC attributes. The 6 KYC attributes, which are name, address, PAN, valid mobile number, valid email ID, and income range, are made mandatory for all the categories of clients. SEBI has advised that DPs need to ensure adequate due diligence at the time of onboarding of client and conducting of KYC. For example, while capturing PAN, DP must verify the PAN online using the income tax site. Also, in case the PAN is not seeded with Aadhaar before the date specified by the government, it will not be considered as a valid PAN. In case of mobile number and email ID, DP must ensure that separate mobile number and email address is captured for all BO account holders, except in case of family members for which written declaration needs to be obtained. Further, DP must ensure valid details are updated for mobile number and email ID. In respect of all existing accounts, DPs must verify that all 6 attributes are updated and wherever required necessary communication is sent to the BOs to update the same on or before 31st March 2022. After 31st March 2022, such non-compliant demat accounts will be liable to be made inactive, which means no debits will be allowed in such accounts. CDSL at regular intervals is sending to all the DPs the list of BO accounts where the 6 attributes are not captured. DPs are supposed to follow up with such BOs and obtain the details from them before the due date. Then, nomination. SEBI has issued circular dated 23rd July 2021 regarding nomination for eligible trading and demat accounts which is enclosed in CDSL Communique number 325. As per the circular, investors opening demat accounts shall have the choice of providing nomination or opting out of nomination. SEBI has provided formats of form for registering nomination in demat account and also a declaration for opting out of nomination. Formats of both the forms are enclosed in the CDSL Communique. The nomination and declaration form shall be signed under wet signature of the account holder and witness shall not be required. However, if the account holder affixes thumb impression instead of wet signature, then witness signature shall be required in the form. The online nomination and declaration form may also be signed using e-sign facility, and in that case witness will not be required. All existing demat account holders shall provide choice of nomination as per the options given on or before March 31st, 2022, failing which the demat account shall be frozen for debits. Third one is surveillance obligation of DP. In order to further strengthen the surveillance framework for the securities market, SEBI has advised all the DPs to place a surveillance framework which shall cover 8 areas. These 8 areas will be explained in detail in the subsequent presentation. Then moving to CKYC for non-individuals, DPs are required to upload the KYC records of legal entity accounts opened onto Central KYC Records Registry. DPs must ensure that in case of legal entity accounts opened prior to April 1, 2021, the KYC records are uploaded onto CKYC when the updated KYC information is received from the client. Online demat account opening for other than individual and non-individual accounts. All the requirements and processes laid down by SEBI for online account opening of individual BOs will be applicable for online demat account opening of other than individual and non-individual accounts. The requirements and processes for online account opening of individual BOs has been discussed in detail in previous slides by Ms. Shelma. Next is online closure of demat accounts. Online closure of demat accounts should be made available for the BOs who have opened their accounts offline or online by the DPs that provide various depository related services in online mode. Those DPs which do not provide any services online and do not open accounts online may not be required to offer online closure of demat accounts. Online closure process shall be applicable in case of individual client accounts with single holder only. In case of clients having demat accounts with nil balances, it can be closed by the DPs on the basis of email received from the registered email ID of the demat account holder. Account closure for account with balances shall be done only through web portal or application of DP, and any request received by DP through email, SMS, other messaging apps, etc. shall not be entertained. As the KYC process requires e-sign, post which demat accounts can be opened by the DP, for online closure of accounts with balances also, the BO shall be required to e-sign the form using Aadhaar-based signature, which will be verified by the DP in accordance with SEBI and depository guidelines. After the closure of demat account by the DP, the same shall be intervened through electronic mode enclosing the client master report and transaction cum holding statement of the closed account. DP shall maintain and store system logs of the closure instructions and e-signed electronic requests received in electronic form in a secured manner, and the same shall be subject to 100% internal audit.